Hello and welcome back to another one of Paul's beer reviews. Hope you're doing well today. I've got a beer from Magic Rock to review for you this time around. It is a hazy pale ale that's just gone into Lidl, and I believe that this has been brewed exclusively for Lidl. At least that's what I've heard, but I'm having a brief look at the can here and it doesn't say that. But anyway, Big on Haze it's called. Hazy pale ale, coming in at 4.5% ABV in a 440ml can. The standard Magic Rock kind of circular design they've gone with. The colour scheme would suggest there's a Lidl thing going on there, the kind of the red, orange, blue, white thing. So yeah, but this was in Lidl. It was $1.79 a can. It doesn't say a great deal about the beer. Magic Rock don't exactly go to town when it comes to flavour text. But it's a 4.5% hazy pale. That's all we know. But what does it say on the back? It contains barley and oats. So they haven't even got a full ingredients list, which is definitely in keeping with Lidl. They don't like giving much away either. Yeah. Best before, Drinkware headquarters, Willow Lane, Huddersfield. Down the road from a much better brewery. But yeah, don't say a great deal. $1.79 in Lidl. Magic Rock used to do some cracking beers. Cannonball is still a fantastic IPA when I've managed to get hold of it. They've had their issues, Magic Rock, over the last couple of years. I think they're now under new ownership again. So it'd be interesting to see what happens with these guys. But they were once very, very good. It'd be nice to see them get back to that at some point. Certainly a light haze to it. Put that there. There's the can. Big on Haze once again. Light shining right on that. It is hazy. There is a haze to it. Good levels of carbonation on that one. I'm not sure if you can make that out. Probably can't. As the light shining through it onto me, there's a really good rush of carbonation making its way out the middle of the glass. It's hanging on just under a finger of a quite foamy looking whitehead, which is in no rush to go anywhere. That's hanging in there, which is a good sign. But yeah, a hazy, amber, gold, yellow, whatever you want to call it, looking pale ale. Let's get me snouting, see what the aromas are telling us. Subtle kind of stone fruit, peachy. A touch of grapefruit on the aroma. Certainly peach and grapefruit is what's coming out at me. I'll give it a wriggle without chucking it all over myself. Yeah, definitely a stone fruit. Peach, apricot. Touch of berries in there maybe, a little bit of raspberry. It's subtle, but it's quite a nice aroma. Slightly floral. Let's get stuck in, shall we? Cheers. It's a bit bland. It's a bit forgettable. It's not unpleasant. But you know what, I was just going to come out and say it. It's a Lidl beer. It's a beer that's been brewed by a brewery that are capable of good beers. And you're getting that sense from it, that there's a good beer desperately trying to come out of it. But it's not going to happen. This is a criticism that I've thrown at beers from Lidl and Aldi in the past. They've got the base. The base is there of a good beer, but they kind of, it's almost like rather than spending just that little bit of extra money, adding those few extra little bit ingredients, but a touch more hop, a slightly better quality of malt, they pull back You know, it's like, whoa, we don't want to spend too much money on this beer. We're only going to be selling it for $1.79 a can. And that's what it tastes like. It tastes like a beer that's been brewed knowing full well that they're going to be making bugger all on it in terms of sales. It's not awful. It's actually quite drinkable for a 4.5% hazy pale ale. I've had a lot worse. It's light. I think I might have said thin originally. I'll go back on that. I'll retract that comment. It's not thin, but it is light. It's well carbonated. There is quite a considerable fizzy rush to it. Yet despite that, it's not really lending much to the character of the hops in this beer. There's a touch of grapefruit, orange, like a citrusy thing going on. That sort of stone fruit, peachy apricot sort of aroma I was getting doesn't really follow through on the flavour. At the back end, there is the slightest, and I do mean the slightest, sort of drying bitterness. It's quite a gassy one, this. It is very well carbonated. There's a touch of grapefruit, touch of orange. Maybe the slightest touch of something tropical. And the more I drink of it, to be fair, I've nearly drunk it. The more I drink of it, there is a slight kind of herbal, slightly herbal finish to it. Rather than a bitter finish, it's like a herbal, almost like a touch of spice to the finish to kind of try and balance things out. But much like the rest of it, it's subtle. It's all very underwhelming. It could have been a good beer, this, but they've held back. They've brewed a beer that's only going to be sold for $1.79 a can. That is the best way to describe it. There's a good beer in here, but they've held off. They've held off on making it so, if that makes any sense. It's a cheaply produced beer, and that's why it's being sold cheaply. Big on Haze, 4.5% hazy pale ale from Magic Rock. It is bang average. It's not horrible. Like I say, for the money you could do a lot worse. It is drinkable, but you certainly wouldn't want to pay much more than that for it. You certainly wouldn't want to pay much more than the $1.79 that I have done for this. If you did, you'd be a little bit disappointed. Like I say, it's very much a bargain supermarket beer. It's been cheaply made, hence the price it's being sold for. But it's not awful, but it's not going to live long in the memory. Would I buy it again? No. Would I drink it again? Possibly. It might make a good fridge filler. There's nothing offensive about it. It's just a bit weak. It's just a bit lacking. So yeah, I'm gonna go down the middle with it. I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 10 for what it's worth. It's really fizzy. It's making me burp like a motherfudger. Big on Haze, Magic Rock in Lidl. $1.79 a can. What are your thoughts? Have you had this one? Have you been to your Lidl and picked this one up? I'd be interested to know what you thought. For me, it's just a bit meh. It's just a bit bland. But there you go. You can't win them all. 5 out of 10. One more time. Big on Haze, Magic Rock in Lidl. Go check it out. I hope you enjoyed the video. Give it a thumbs up. If you have, I do appreciate it. Until my next one, you take care.